Jay-Z is Diddy's handler and he's currently hiding. I have evidence, and if I give it to the FBI, Jay-Z will be arrested immediately. Jay-Z brings young boys to Diddy for sacrifice. All the evidence is present, and now he is hiding.
Video, watch how Jay-Z quickly turned around when P. Diddy greeted Beyonce with a touch on her shoulder. Jay-Z came out of nowhere. This was at the Rock Nation brunch back in 2018.
You gotta go back now and say, why was the NFL continuing to support with all the confusion going on in the media? And maybe it's all of that found money right there. I wasn't in the ad because of Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some energy.
Speaking of, in particular, Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you've said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations, I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else, but I did feel uncomfortable with the way you represent the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it, just that alone.
50's not backing down. He's leaning in, dropping whispers that have the whole internet gasping. If the feds had receipts on Diddy, wait till you hear what might be circling Jay-Z. Suddenly the Carters are in the crosshairs and Bey's name is bobbing in the same rumor pool too. Fans are clutching their phones. Did Beyonce know more than she let on? Is Rock Nation about to get a knock on the door? 50's lines are tight and loaded. The kind that don't accuse outright, but make you squirm, hint, innuendo, a glance toward a darker ledger. Now the question on everyone's lips isn't just who knows whom. It's how deep this web goes, and whether the law's next move will be a gentle nudge or a full-blown Rico hammer. Trust me, the tea's piping hot, and the whispers are turning into a slow, terrifying roar.
Speaking of, in particular, Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you've said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations, I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else, but I did feel uncomfortable with the way you represent the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it, just that alone.
So you didn't realize the...
As much stuff has come, like when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. So I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations are...
Well, you already know. 50 Cent and Jay-Z have been firing subliminals at each other since flip phones were still a thing that beef is vintage. But now 50 smells. Blood in the water with Diddy behind bars and a whole documentary dropping receipts like confetti. 50 is suddenly talking like he's been sitting on a vault of secrets. Secrets that could drag Jay-Z and Beyonce right into Diddy's mess. And don't get it twisted. This documentary wasn't some random idea. He scribbled on a napkin last week. 50 has been waiting decades to do this. He never liked Diddy, and he never missed a chance to clown Jay either. The timing alone, chef's kiss. He dropped the Diddy series 2 days before Jay-Z's birthday. That's not petty. That's grand championship petty. Now the internet is convinced Jay-Z isn't exactly skipping away untouched. People are saying the skeletons in his closet make Diddy look like a choir boy.
I have released Diddy's documentary on Netflix, and I have given all the proofs of who was involved with Diddy. I have presented the videotape of Diddy's parties as evidence. Now no one can save Diddy and the other celebs. Jay-Z, Beyonce,
Oprah Winfrey, Kim Kardashian, all of them were Diddy's handlers. After watching the rest of the documentary, you'll understand everything.
One person on X said, "I just know his time is coming and he's probably way more sinister than Diddy." Another replied, "Beyonce has been mute for years. He is definitely far more sinister. His time is coming, so just when the Carters probably thought they dodged Diddy's legal hurricane." 50 hit rewind on a lawsuit that already had everyone whispering. A man claims he was drugged and assaulted after being taken from a Star Island party in Miami, and the part that went viral. He says Beyonce saw him moments before everything went down according to court documents. The accuser, Joseph Zero, says his drink was spiked at a party for Christian Combs in 2015. Things got so bad a woman wanted to call an ambulance, until someone allegedly shut it down. He claims he even crossed paths with LeBron James, who supposedly said, "Y'all better do something about that." Then, in a bizarre turn, straight out of a dark Hollywood movie, he says he was dragged through an underground tunnel to Diddy's mansion, and when he woke up, he says Jay-Z and Beyonce were right there. Beyonce allegedly asked why a half-naked man was standing in the room, and someone responded that Diddy wanted him to see what happens to snitches. It only gets more disturbing from there, so disturbing. He described the entire ordeal as a freak-off. Now, here's where the eyebrow raise happens. Jay-Z's lawyer immediately shut the story down by saying Jay wasn't even in Miami. But he only defended Jay, not Beyonce. Her name was left hanging in the air like a storm cloud. And just when you think this rumor train can't get any wilder, retired NFL player Larry Johnson jumps in. He claims years ago he attended a late-night Carter-hosted event in Colorado. And what he says, he saw people who didn't look like they were even adults. Plus a comment from Beyonce that he says made him extremely uncomfortable. So now the question is loud, messy, and dangerous. Is this just gossip gone nuclear? Or is 50 Cent warning us that he's only shown the first slice of what he knows? Because if the whispers are true, the Carters might not be as far away from Diddy's fallout as they thought.
Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there, and he rented this house. And we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to be like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. Mind you, it's all adults. There was a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old teenage Latin girl that was there, and I think she had to leave because she had school and she had to do homework, but she brought her mother with her. So it was no funny business going on, which I could respect that. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, "Doesn't this look sexy?" or "Isn't this sexy?" And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say? And then I didn't pay no attention to it. And then, you know, obviously the liquor took hold of me and I had to leave. So I said bye to everybody and left. But those kids remained. I don't know if those kids were from the photo shoot themselves, but the fact that these kids came around adults during drinking hours or partying hours was already alarming to me.
Oh, this is the part that gets sticky. Larry Johnson wasn't some random bystander. He and Jay-Z ran in the same circles once then, poof. Jay ghosted him completely. People say that split happened after Larry started pushing some spicy theories online, but receipts from back then show they were tight, so tight that insiders whispered. The relationship went deeper than friendship, classic Jay move. Cozy up, cut ties, then act like you never knew the person at all. Remember when his name popped up in that Jane Doe lawsuit and Alex Spiro was lightning fast to say there was no friendship between Jay and Diddy? Coincidence? The pattern's starting to look less like coincidence and more like a scripted disappearing act.
In a new interview with NBC, Jay-Z's lawyer Alex Spiro spoke about the relationship between the two moguls. From images of them together at many events to how they highly spoke about each other, one may think that a close bond exists between Jay and Puff. However, according to Spiro, the two have never shared a real friendship or long-time bond.
Even if Jane Doe's accusations against Jay-Z were tossed out, let's not play. Pretend there is zero universe where Jay can convincingly claim He and Diddy weren't close unless his definition of friendship is something the rest of us have never heard of, because the math ain't matting. Diddy literally called Jay his extended family, his strategist, the first person he rings when things go sideways. That's not a casual industry acquaintance. That's ride or die energy.
Trafficking and hearing trial of Sean Diddy Combs, we have heard testimony from big-name celebrities linked to the now disgraced music
victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Ford?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that.
The Grammys, everybody. You know, when you equal a record, there's no way you don't get to hold your Grammy in your hand and celebrate that. And the Queen is officially in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, Beyonce. No.
So Jay trying to distance himself. Now it feels less like truth and more like someone frantically sweeping footprints before the investigators turn on the black lights.
And this is the extended family. You've been there with me through my ups and downs. Whenever I get in trouble, this is the one I call. It's my strategist right here. This is my brother. It's B.I.G.'s brother.
Yes, sir.
This Brooklyn's own Brooklyn. So I appreciate you. He came 5,000 miles away to come here to Brooklyn to represent the B.I.G. Make some noise for her.
And don't sleep on that viral clip. Diddy straight up said Jay skipped Blue Ivy's recital to headline Bad Boy's 20th anniversary show, and that line landed like a cold splash of reality. Fans went from stunned to whispering in seconds. Is this the moment that shows where Jay's priorities really lie? Family, or the brand? It's the kind of detail that stitches itself into the bigger picture. 50's been painting tiny slights, perfect timing, and a narrative that says maybe those family headlines are more PR than truth. Recital
That he has to be at the fluid. But I reached out to him, and I told him that this right here was important. Bad Boy celebrating 20 years of hits.
So here's the delicious hypocrisy. Jay's out here insisting he and Diddy were never tight. But remember that time he bailed on Blue Ivy's Our Recital to headline Bad Boy's anniversary. You don't skip your kid's milestone for a show if the other guy's just an acquaintance. That's family-level priority, not casual networking, and 50, he smelled that contradiction a mile away the day. Diddy's home got raided, 50 went full snack mode. Posted Jay on a milk carton like he was playing hide and seek with the feds. Anybody seen Jay Lowell Pup said he ain't answering his phone. Lowell. He even dropped a red carpet snap with the caption. Here is Jay-Z, last reported seen waving at Puffy's Jet Lowell translation. Where's the loyalty now, Roy? Then Tony Yeo hopped on Vlad TV and called out Jay for the fast rewriting history like it's a screenplay. He forgot to finish. The whole thing reads like a paranoid soap opera stage. A show for the brand vanish. When the spotlight gets ugly, then acts shocked when people start asking questions. Petty sure calculated. Absolutely. And 50's not letting the story go. He's turning every little contradiction into fuel for the narrative.
Because now Jay is saying, yo, this not my man, which is kind of weird.
Right.
Because you see him at mad parties together, but look at it, right? Really think about it. Did he only go to them, to what's that? He have his brunch, he be having, right?
The Rock Nation brunch.
Did he go to that? You see Diddy go to that? Yeah. And Jay, and then Diddy will have an all-white party and Jay go to that.
Jay goes to that.
So it's like the same parties they go to.
Oh, and don't gloss over Beyonce. In this storybook of chaos, remember when the baby said the first time he met her was at Diddy's house? That throwaway line suddenly reads like a breadcrumb on a paper trail. Tiny detail. Huge implications. It's the kind of casual memory that makes you lean forward. Did she know the scene she was walking into was that house just another industry hangout or something darker? Everyone pretended not to notice in a world where timing and tiny slips matter. That offhand line is now fuel for the Whisper Network. And 50's already made sure everyone's listening.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020.
Don't sleep on Beyonce's cameo in this mess. There's a stack of footage and throwback moments putting her at Puffy's parties like clockwork. And Diddy himself has never been shy about calling the Carters part of his inner circle. He didn't roll up as a casual guest. He talked about those family vibes like he belonged there. Remember when the twins arrived in 2017, Diddy didn't just RSVP. He framed it as a huge moment for their inner circle, practically treating the Carters like kin in his own stories. So when you stitch all those little scenes together, Pix party clips, Puffy's, own, boasts, it starts to look less like coincidence and more like a pattern, and patterns are what 50's been circling with a magnifying glass.
All over the world, people have been talking. I don't know if the twins, Beyonce and Jay.
Yeah.
I know that you are pretty close to them.
Yes.
I wonder, have you been able to reach out? Have you been able to say anything to them?
Definitely. It's a big moment for like our whole crew, our whole innocence.
Oh, now that's the million-dollar question. Beyonce has mastered the art of silence. The queen of no comment, the ruler of immaculate image control. But silence can be read two ways. Innocence or protection. Was she just in the wrong rooms at the wrong time, or was she standing close enough to the fire to feel the heat? That is a Diddy.
When is the Diddy documentary supposed to hit?
I can't give you a date, but it's in production now.
What is it with all of these pretenders? And now they got an even bigger one named Curtis Jackson. He's trying to move Diddy and Jay-Z out the way so he can run it.
Oh, sit down. Because what you watched on Netflix was the appetizer. The real course is messier, darker, and way more cinematic. What Netflix showed was the headline, the thing they snuck between frames. The offhand lines, the tiny slips, the weirdly timed reactions. That's where the real story lives. The Reckoning isn't just a film, it's an unspooling, a billionaire in slow-motion collapse. Caught with cameras still rolling while he thinks he's directing the scene. Old rivals crawl out of the woodwork. Industry secrets start bubbling, and an empire quietly implodes from the inside. And here's the part most people missed. The documentary's biggest gut punches weren't engineered by investigative reporters or prosecutors. They fell into place because of an accident, a fluke that handed the world the most damning footage, the leaked phone call you watched. It wasn't meant to be evidence. It wasn't staged for courtroom theatrics. It was filmed because the usual cameraman bailed and a random replacement showed up. A freelancer, unbriefed, unpaid, and legally owning everything he shot.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. We're losing.
It allows them to get a clearer picture. Keep them horizontally faster, right? And it also, conversely, makes the defense think a tick longer because they clear the
Shit not fuck with these. There's a whole lot of crazy shit going on.
Everything in life, you're gonna have people that are bad and people that are good. You have to choose your side.
Watched all 4 episodes of the Diddy documentary series, and you guys, this one had my jaw on the floor. It's called Sean Combs' The Reckoning, and when I saw the executive producer was the king of petty 50 Cent himself, as well as read the director Alexandria Stapleton's vision, I just knew it was going to be good. It promised never before seen footage, testimonies.
That stray cameraman didn't mean to become the villain or the savior. He just filmed what happened, and when that tape changed hands, what looked like a coordinated takedown suddenly felt like unintended self-sabotage. The empire wasn't toppled by subpoenas alone, it was nudged over the edge by a stray lens. Then there's the tiny line that should make your skin crawl. During that clip, he says the core theme needs to be you didn't do anything wrong. Notice he doesn't say, I didn't do anything wrong. He's not confessing innocence. He's storyboarding one. He speaks like a director, not a defendant. That one phrase pulls back the curtain on the whole psychology of the thing. This wasn't a man defending himself so much as a man trying to create a character. The wrongly accused titan, the misunderstood hero. He wasn't building a defense. He was building a narrative. Watch the documentary again with that lens, and it turns into something else entirely. Not just a legal saga, but a portrait of narrative control, rehearsed lines, PR framing, and the desperate attempt to rewrite reality. Tiny editing choices. Whisper of calculation offhand, comments become breadcrumbs leaked footage. Origins become the plot twist. No one was ready for. Ready for the deep dive because once you peel back these layers, The Reckoning stops being a single story and starts feeling like a staged unraveling, and it hits harder than you thought. Netflix slips that line into the film like a loaded whisper because it reveals everything about his headspace. Most celebs in trouble call a crisis PR firm. Maybe a brand manager, maybe a polished spokesperson, not him. He's asking for operators who traffic in the dirtiest corners of media. The people who don't spin stories, they manufacture realities. That's not PR talk, that's geopolitical spin. That's erase a scandal, rewrite a legacy talk. He wants phantom puppeteers, shadow fixers, who can bend public perception on a national scale, suppress headlines, redirect, outrage, and make millions for overnight,